Jeszcze raz?
Może już teraz mogę?
No chodź, jeszcze raz zrobimy. Teraz tak.
I'd like to welcome you all here today. Dzień dobry Państwu. Witamy na tak ważnej naszej gali dzisiejszej. My name is Barbara Lemeka, and on behalf of the American Polish Cultural Society Board of Directors and the organizing committee of this wonderful event, I would like to thank you for being here and supporting us in this endeavor. It is a powerful presentation in front of us, an astonishing tribute to a Polish-born genius, Nicolaus Copernicus, which is a Latin version of his name, as Latin was a common language of communication among the educated classes in Europe at that time. I'm sure many of you heard that the Polish government proclaimed year 2023 as the Copernicus year to commemorate his achievements and remind the world of the crucial role Copernicus played in formulating a model of universe that placed the sun rather than the earth in the center. And here I have a little note which is not in my speech here. At the anniversary of 500th anniversary of Copernicus' birth, Polonia gathered together in a very special and very big way, and the effects of that is the statue in front of the public library in Detroit of Copernicus, and on the inside of the library, as you walk in and you look up on the wall, it's a huge mosaic of his image of Copernicus. I invite you to see it next time you go. I am privileged and honored to serve as an MC for today for this amazing and very special presentation depicting the life and the character of Nicolaus Copernicus, whose observations and calculations initiated one of the branches of science 550 years ago. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you will hear more about that. We have 3 exhibits here. One from Windsor, Canada, from Mr. Baricki. We have one from the Polish consulate on your other side, and another presentation on the side from Mr. Dariusz Klepko, who prepared and compiled the panels of the exhibit that depicts 40 years of Copernicus' stay in Varna, which is a trail to commemorate his connection with the region. Now please, I'd like to acknowledge a very special guest. You all are very special, but I'd like to acknowledge first Mr. Richard Bellavender, the Honorary Consul of Poland, and please hold the applause until I finish the list. Father Bernard Witek, Director of the Liturgical Center at Orchard Lake, Honorable Judge Humura, District Judge 37 in Warren, Polish School, named Adam Mickiewicz, represented by Pani Ewa Klepko, Vice Principal, Mrs. Stella Szczęsny, President of PNA Council, Board Member of Piast Institute, and a National Director for Polish American Congress, Stella Szczęsny, Pani Iwona Jędrzejczak, Vice President of the Polish Scholarly Organizations, who is here on behalf of Pan Tomasz Cybat, President of the Polish Scholarly Organization. Welcome. President of the Polish American Congress, Ania Wękowska. Pan Kazimierz Brzozowski. Pan Zdzisław Foryś, President of Filarets, the only choir in Michigan, and we thank him for his efforts, keeping our heritage alive through singing. Mr. Brian Molsky, President of the Friends of Polish Art, newly elected. And I welcome the media representatives, Pani Alicja Karlitz from Polish Media Center and Andrzej Miłosz who does an absolutely beautiful job recording what will be forever, and Pan Jurek Różalski from the Polish Varieties. Welcome. A very special welcome to from Canada, Mr. Jerry Baricki and his lovely wife, Pani Ewa. I am very pleased to tell you what you see here on my left is his creation, and I have it written, it's his baby. Years of hard work, working together with the Jagiellonian University and academic level in Poland, but he will tell you more about that himself. This is the outcome of his hard work. The catalogs you received at the door is a reproduction of Mr. Baricki's work, which is absolutely, and we are absolutely grateful that he allowed us to do that. Thank you so much. At the last and not least is Professor Paweł Marcinek. He will be a keynote speaker here. Now that before we open the gala officially with the beautiful concert from Professor Kazimierz Brzozowski, our mayor of Troy is on a limited time level. He has a very important engagement, and he would like to welcome all of you to the city of Troy.
Well, thank you, Barbara, and thank you, everybody. I apologize, I do have to get to another event this evening. Apparently, we schedule everything at the same time here in the city of Troy. So, as the mayor of the city of Troy, I am so excited and honored to be here. This is, first of all, one of my favorite places in our city. The American Polish Cultural Center is unique, I believe, in the region, and it puts Troy in a very special place. As I think about it, this is a gateway to our city, so I can't think of a better place to have an exhibit such as this. I'd actually like to think about trying to get this area named like Little Poland or something. I think it'd be really cool if we could officially make that designation. So if Copernicus can stop the sun, move the earth, I should at least be able to get this corner named Little Poland, right? I'll work on it, But honestly, as the mayor of the city of Troy, I really just want to welcome everybody for being here. This is a beautiful example of the cultural differences and diversity we have here in the city of Troy. I love that it mixed science with art, with everything that makes our society such a wonderful society. So I'm excited that we're here tonight, that you're all here celebrating this, that this is going to be here as an opportunity for people to come visit, and I will definitely help spread the word. But honestly, if you think about 550 years, you all know this, I mean, our country's only not even 250 years old yet, right? But 550 years old, and we're celebrating large time periods and anniversaries like that. It really is something to think about. And then you add to Copernicus did what he's done for our society and the things we take for granted today here, not just in the city of Troy, but throughout the world. You really realize the magnitude. And I am so excited to be here, Barbara, and all these esteemed guests and all of the guests that I had an opportunity to meet with. I'm thankful for this opportunity. I'm thankful that you're here. I wish you all a beautiful gala this evening. And just thank you so much for coming and spending a little time in the city of Troy and for helping making Troy such a wonderful place. So thank you, everybody. I'm sorry that I have to leave. It's a weird night, but bless you all, and thanks so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now we'll officially open this gala with a special performance, a concert by Professor Kazimierz Brzozowski. Professor Brzozowski has acquired international acclaim for his captivating performances at the piano, in particular the music of Chopin. He frequently appears in a concert in the United States, Japan, Italy, and Poland. And he has performed as a soloist with the Detroit Symphony, Polish Radio Orchestra, Lublin Philharmonic, and other orchestras in the US. And the Dearborn Orchestra, I remember seeing him there many years ago. Professor Brzozowski has won a prize of Polish Radio Festival and received awards from the Chopin Society in Warsaw, and Narbe Musical Society in Michigan, University of Michigan, Kościuszko Foundation in New York, and others. Critics praise him as a truly exceptional of Chopin's music. Mr. Brzozowski, welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me to play here for you today, so I can pay tribute to our great scientist in a small way. I'll play works by two pieces by Frédéric Chopin, another great man from Poland. And you know, Chopin and Copernicus, obviously, they were centuries apart, but in some ways, there were similarities, other than they were both from Poland. They were both ahead of their time. Copernicus as a scientist and Chopin as a composer. And I can imagine that, Copernicus looking at the night sky, he came up with his theory, and then Chopin most likely came up with some ideas for his nocturnes and other works. So I would like to start the program with a nocturne. I'll follow with the Scherzo number 2 in B flat minor.
Professor Grozowski, well, thank you so very much. It was absolutely amazing, a most memorable opening of the gala. Thank you again. What I would like to add here, Professor Grozowski is playing at the Steinway Concert Hall. I will print the flyers for you if you're interested. I think it's next week, Pani Vasiu? I think it's next week. We'll get the flyers before you go. We'll share them with you. Now I'd like to invite our newly elected president, Ryszard Zdzisław Tarnicki, to podium and welcome us officially. But before we do that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Richard. I know that most of you know him, but some of you might not, so I will take this opportunity to tell you. Richard Tarnicki was born in Poland. As a bachelor, he came to the United States in 1978 in search of a better life. As luck would have it, he found it. He found his beautiful wife, Grażyna, and was married in 1980. By trade, he's an electrical engineer and worked for General Motors as an electrical programmer for 35 years. He has one son, Marek, to whom he's very proud of. Marek is following in his father's footsteps and also graduated from the university with a degree in electrical engineering. Richard retired 4 years ago, and now he loves to spend time here at the Cultural Center, renovating and making more beautiful. But in his spare time, when he finds it, he goes on his 36-foot powerboat when he finds the time. For many years he's been doing this. Now he's in charge of renovating this Cultural Center, and you can see the results of it are absolutely beautiful. As the president of the American Council of the American Polish Cultural Society and the Center, he was newly re-elected again last 2 weeks ago, and I invite you to his installation, which will be on the 18th, if you can find the time. Mr. Tarnicki, please.
dobry Państwu. Witam serdecznie. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of American Polish Cultural Society, it's my pleasure to welcome you here today at this very special event as we commemorate the 550th anniversary of Nicolaus Copernicus' birth. I'm very proud that board members and friends took on this very important project to celebrate Nicolaus Copernicus' great discovery. I must thank the Cultural Events Committee members for their commitment and tireless energy and accomplishment this task. I invite you to enjoy and learn about this Polish-born astronomer, physician, mathematician, among many other talents he has shown. I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Jerry Barbaritsky from Windsor for sharing with us this remarkable exhibit about Copernicus' life and his works. Also, words of gratitude are directed to Polish consulate in Chicago for allowing us to display the art of the winner of the international poster competition. We thanks to Mr. Dariusz Klepko for his digital display of Copernicus connection with Warmia and Mazury region in Poland. Thank you again. Enjoy our exhibit. Dziękuję bardzo za przybycie i przyjemnego wieczoru. Dziękuję bardzo.
Invite Mr. Richard Vallavender to podium, my honorary counsel, to say a few words, please.
Thank you. I'd like to start off quickly with a question. What do these famous Polish heroes have in common? Tadeusz Kościuszko, Józef Piłsudski, Lech Wałęsa, and Mikołaj Kopernik. Besides having a lot of streets and statues and parks. Well, the answer that I thought of was they were all revolutionaries. Now wait, you can say, but what kind of revolution did Copernicus lead? Well, he led probably the most historically profound revolution, the scientific revolution. Until Copernicus published his famous work showing that the Earth revolved around the sun and not the other way around, science was not a well-respected discipline, and it was not even considered separate from philosophy. The value of scientific concepts back then was measured not whether they are literally true or correspond to reality, but by the extent to which they can make predictions or resolve conceptual problems in a preordained model. Copernicus changed that paradigm. The point of scientific theories, according to Copernicus, is not merely to generate predictions, but to describe accurately the way things really are. And thanks to Copernicus, science became an autonomous discipline that sought to provide accurate, definite answers to describe the real physical system of the universe. So as the father of the scientific revolution, Copernicus opened the door to the scientific method, which is the cornerstone of modern science and what we all practice today. I think this is why all of humanity needs to commemorate this great Polish astronomer. And let me just say a couple words in Polish. Niektórzy kwestionują, czy Mikołaj Kopernik był Polakiem, czy może Niemcem? Musimy wiedzieć, jak odpowiedzieć i uczyć wątpiących. Kopernik kilka razy w sposób bardzo zdecydowany i jasny zadeklarował swoją narodowość. Na przykład w Olsztynie, gdy krzyżacy próbowali zająć zamek, Kopernik odmówił podania się i zdołał zorganizować skuteczną obronę. To właśnie wtedy napisał list do króla Zygmunta I Starego z prośbą o pomoc wojskową dla oblężonych. W liście tym napisał, że będzie bronił Olsztyna przed krzyżakami, nawet z narażeniem swojego życia, bo jest wiernym poddanym króla polskiego. Innymi słowy, Kopernik wolałby umrzeć, niż oddać zamek wrogowi Polski. Zgodne działania miały wpływ na wynik konfrontacji. Polacy wygrali. Z całą pewnością Kopernik był wielkim polskim patriotą. And now I'd like to read a letter from the Consul General, Dr. Paweł Zyzak of Chicago, to describe the poster art that we have here in front of us. I congratulate the Society on their pick for the February 4th exhibition held in the Polish Cultural Center in Troy. I believe that Nicolaus Copernicus will continue to serve in Michigan as he did in Illinois as a wonderful ambassador of Polish scientific exploration, both on Earth and in the darkness of space. The Polish Consulate General in Chicago had the privilege and a unique opportunity to become the first consulate outside Poland to present this colorful and inspiring poster exhibit created for the 550th Jubilee of Copernicus celebrated in Poland. The originator and curator of the event aimed at young artists and designers from all over the world. Dr. Jadek Bujny, who runs a graphic design studio at the Faculty of Arts, University of Warmia and Mazury in Olsztyn, Poland, was the main coordinator. As many as 520 works from 32 countries were submitted to the competition. An international jury from Germany, Denmark, and Poland awarded 5 prizes and 7 honorary mentions. The competition was held as part of the World Copernican Congress on the occasion of the 2023 Year of Nicolaus Copernicus, established by a resolution of the Senate of the Republic of Poland under the patronage of the Minister of Education and Science of Poland. What you see now is the work of the 5 competition winners, 7 honorary mentions, and the personal picks of Dr. Jadek Bujny for the consulate. Dr. Bujny prepared this version of the exhibit for the Polish-American viewer, and after learning about the exhibit of the posters in Michigan, thanks you for the interest and wishes all the best. Sincerely, Paweł Zyzak, Consul General of the Polish Consulate in Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All that information that Mr. Valaman just read is also in a handout that you received today. Now, without further ado, we have the pleasure to introduce Professor Paweł Marcinek, the keynote speaker for tonight. Professor Marcinek graduated from Jagiellonian University with a degree in experimental physics. In 2006, he came to the United States. In 2018, he received his PhD in applied mathematics from Oakland University. His research interests include numerical methods of partial differential equations and applications of partial differential equations in physics and mechanoengineering. Welcome, Professor Marcinek.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invitation. It is great pleasure and honor for me to be with you today. especially here in such a wonderful place, American Polish Cultural Center. And above all, because the hero of today's meeting is the great Polish astronomer and scientist Nicolaus Copernicus. The title of my short talk is the Revolutionibus Orbitum, the scientific revolution. The first part is written in Latin, and it is referred to the title of the famous book of Copernicus. In English, it's on the revolution of the heavenly spheres. The scientific revolution, or the Copernican revolution, was a revolution in ideas. That's a very important thing to be conscious about. And a significant revolution that changed man's concept of the universe also. We can see Copernicus. It's a famous painting by Matejko. Actually, you can see it also on this poster here. I see poster number 15. The title of this painting is Astronomer Copernicus, A Conversation with God. It was painted by Jan Matejko in 1873. We see Copernicus here on a balcony, probably in his observatory near the cathedral in Fromborg. I had the pleasure to be there, but not exactly at the time when Copernicus was alive. And Copernicus is surrounded by various astronomical instruments, and we will talk about these instruments later. These instruments and more details we can find on poster number 13, I see. The reason for painting this picture was the 40th anniversary of the astronomer's birth. So that's why we can see the date here. It's 1873. And we are celebrating now 550th anniversary, I mean, of Copernicus' birth. Formally, it's 551st, because it's 2024. Okay. Here is such kind of a short timeline. I mean, I am covering, of course, whole path of life of Nicolaus Copernicus, but I selected, from my point of view, of course, the most important dates in the life of Copernicus. So let us look at some important dates. First of all, we need to know that Copernicus was not only an astronomer. His achievements include significant contributions, especially in economics. He developed and introduced the quantity theory of money and the concept of inflation, which actually we are facing it very much in our life, inflation. So he was born on February 19th, 1473. Let me to enlarge maybe this part here. So he was born in Toruń. Toruń is one of the oldest cities in Poland, located in the north central Poland, inscribed by the UNESCO World Heritage List. And here we have some pictures. I am glad, of course, you can see these pictures on the posters presented on this exhibition. So I included also in my presentation. Then we will skip now, and when he was 18 years old, so we are talking about 1491, he moved to Krakow. Actually, I am from Krakow, and I really love it that Copernicus was there 4 years, and he studied in Krakow mathematics and astronomy mainly. The times of his studies in Krakow coincides with the heyday of so-called Krakow School of Astronomy and Mathematics. Many times, or We know what Copernicus said about Krakow and especially about Torun. He said that Torun gave birth to me. Krakow shaped my thinking. So I am proud of it. At that time, of course, the name of the university was formerly University of Krakow, but now it's a Jagiellonian University. Then, as we see, in 1946, he moved to Italy and he started to study at University of Bologna, and he spent it long, I mean, five years, 96 up to 1501. Copernicus canonical law. He met there the famous astronomer Domenico Maria Novara and became his assistant, by the way. Then, after so many years, he moved to University of and studied there medicine, another 2 years. So now we are at the year of 1503. So Copernicus is 30 years old. Look, he was born in 1473. Now we are at the year of 1503 with a degree of PhD. He's coming back to Poland. So his education, he started education at the age of 18, let's say. We are talking about the level of the university education. So it took him 12 years. It's quite long, even for from the perspective of a modern time. Eventually, I am skipping here about, it looks 10 years of his activity between the year of 1503 and 1514, but this is the most important period of his life, 1514, 1532, when he completed the Revolutionibus Orbitum Celestium. He moved to Fromborg in 1510, and he spent the rest of his life in Fromborg. Okay, so this is actually the map of Poland in the times of Nicolaus Copernicus. On the left side we can see Poland and Lithuania in 1526. And the period of Copernicus' life fell on the reign of the Jagiellonian dynasty. King Casimir Andrew Jagiellonian and King Zygmunt the First Old, I mean the Zygmunt I First the Old, were two kings during his lifetime period, and this time is called the Golden Age of Poland. It was a time of a great power for Poland and internal peace. Poland and Lithuania, Grand Duchy of Lithuania, were very much tied politically, also culturally. So that's why it was just after the death of Copernicus, we became a Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and it covered almost 1 million kilometers. As we can see, we were a country, a Commonwealth from the Baltic Sea down to Black Sea. So pretty good time. We are okay. Let's go back now to the times of Ptolemy. So I'm sorry, but I am just jumping to the 2nd century Anno Domini, but I have some idea why. Because we need to understand, in fact, why Copernicus stopped the sun and moved the Earth. So the Almagest. Almagest is the mathematical and astronomical treatise, in fact, on the trajectories of planets. An apparent motion of a stars as observed from stationary Earth. And this is exactly what we observe. When we have an instrument which is located in some surface of the Earth, we observe exactly what is described in Almagest. We don't feel the movement of Earth. So the picture of the cosmos and the trajectories of planets are kind of complicated. First of all, on the left side we see this model, which in fact was a dominant scientific model of the solar system for about more than 1,400 years. Moreover, a Ptolemaic geocentric model of the universe was quite accurate. That's the very important thing. People were not just believing in something. We were able to collect data, and based on the model, we were able to predict the trajectories of the movement of planets. So it was a time of, let's say in this way, that the planetary retrograde and their paths were calculated within 1% of their observed position. So the model was really amazing. The model, of course, geocentric model assumed that the Earth is in the center of the universe. Then we have a moon, then we have Mercury, then we have a sun. No, we have before sun Venus, then Sun, then Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So it was the order. Now from the perspective of the observer, which is on the Earth, this is the trajectory of a planet. So we see it's kind of complicated. This trajectory is this black curve. We see here in the description of this trajectory, which ancient Greek mathematicians developed, we see two circles. The small circle, we call it epicycle, and the center of the circle is rotating around the big circle, and we call it center of deferent, deferent. Ptolemy wanted to improve this model, and he added something we call equant, which is this center moved toward the edge of the big circle. So the main features of the Ptolemy model are equant, epicycle, and deferent. What Copernicus wanted to do, he wanted to remove equant, as well as he wanted to remove epicycles, and basically he knew that it's possible only when he will, let's call it, move the Earth. That's why he moved the Earth. But we can ask the question, how it's possible that with these assumptions, when the Earth is the center of the universe, we really this model could be such accurate within 1% of the observed trajectories of planets. So this lies actually in the Fourier analysis. It's it's just a little bit, let's call it, advanced mathematics. It turns out that any smooth curve can be approximated to any accuracy given a sufficient number of epicycles. So practically speaking, if we could consider infinitely many epicycles, then practically speaking, the Ptolemy model, geocentric, will be perfect. But of course, it's impossible. Very not practical. So, what Copernicus did? Before we will say that, let us see the action. So on the left-hand side, we see the movement of the planet. Actually, this is the movement of Earth, and above the Earth is Mars. So please see what we see, how it can be seen from the perspective of heliocentric model. This is kind of a simple. We have a circular paths of the movement of the planets. For simplicity, this animation assumes that the orbital period of Mars is 2 years, not exactly 1.88 years, just for simplicity. And on the right-hand side, we have the Ptolemaic system, so geocentric model. So the Earth now is in the center, the Sun is moving around the Earth, as well as Mars. And we see that the curve, the trajectory of the Mars from this perspective is kind of complicated. And by the way, this is what we are collecting. When we are collecting data, we see it from the perspective of the Earth, exactly this trajectory, the red one. But because we know that the Earth is moving around the Sun, then we can transform such complicated trajectory into the very simple one. It means circular. So the revolutionibus orbitum celestium. So the major features of Copernican theory are the following. First of all, the center of the universe is near the Sun. This is the first thing what Copernicus assumed. Heavenly motions are uniform, eternal, and circular, or compounded of several epicycles. It can be a surprise for you that still Copernicus used epicycles, because his main idea was to move, to clean epicycles from the description of the universe. But the problem is that planets actually are not moving really on a regular circles, but on the curves which follows, which are elliptical curves, so ellipses. And this actually was the main problem in the measurements which Copernicus was performing. His accuracy actually was worse than the accuracy achieved by Ptolemy. His accuracy was like 3% compared to 1% which we could achieve using geocentric model. So it was not an easy task for Copernicus to encourage the scientific society to believe in his idea. Another feature of his theory is that around the Sun, in order, are Mercury, Venus, of course Earth, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and the fixed stars above. This is amazing that he considered that the Earth has 3 motions: rotation, annual revolution, and annual lifting of the axis. That's why we have seasons, different seasons. Retrograde motion of the planets is explained by the Earth's motion. That's the main 5 features of his theory. So, like I said, Copernicus was, this is by the way from his book, this model when the sun is in the center of the universe and the planets and the fixed stars are around the sun. This is actually the first page of the first edition of the Revolutionibus. It was actually published in Nuremberg in 1573, just 2 months before the death of Copernicus. These are Copernicus astronomical instruments. Excuse me. So he used only, as you see, this was the time when telescope was not yet developed. So Copernicus used only solar quadrant, triquantrum and astrolabium. Actually, solar quadrant it was instrument used to measure the height of the sun above the horizon. Triquantrum also measured the angles. It was used to determine altitudes of heavenly bodies. And how it, in details, how the description, how this instrument works, are actually presented on poster number 13. So it's here. And also astrolabium. Astrolabium was kind of like complicated astronomical instrument. Basically, astrolabium modeled the celestial sphere, and it was used to determine equatorial and elliptic coordinates. Here we can see nice animation, which illustrates the simplicity of the heliocentric model and the complexity of a geocentric model. So on the left-hand side, we have a heliocentric model, and we are kind of familiar with it. For us, it's natural. But geocentric model, when we see the trajectories of planets, are kind of like complicated. What is amazing is that ancient Greek mathematicians could describe it with such high accuracy of 1%. Now, of course, the successors of Nicolaus Copernicus found out that, of course, his model is much better. Although Copernicus did not prove his theory, his idea initiated a real scientific revolution, the path of which was followed by Copernicus' successors, especially Galileo, Kepler, and Newton. Copernicus' ideas pushed the study of the universe to the new directions. Thank you very much.
Also in my list here, we must acknowledge the manager, Pani Eva Wienke, and assistant manager, Mr. Tomasz Keller, and the employees who made this possible. Also, please allow me to thank the American Polish Cultural Society helpers who spent many hours of preparing for this. There are two gentlemen that are walking here and helping, and that's Andrzej Chodubski and Ryszard Kubina. We thank you. And Frank Buchowski. Frank Buchowski is a creator of the written material for the students. There will be a written brochures passed out to the students who come and visit on Copernicus, and those will be distributed to the high school and the university students. And Professor, I invite you to get all you kids here and tell them to come, and there'll be a test after. So they'll come. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the creator of this amazing exhibit, Mr. Barycki, Pan Jerzy Barycki, and I will tell you a little bit about him. I did a little bit of reading, and it's an amazing accomplishment of this man. Mr. Barycki graduated from the Warsaw University of Technology, Politechnika Warszawska, one of the leading institutes of technology in Poland, and the largest, the Polish-Canadian Business and Professional Association of Windsor, co-founder and the president, He's a co-founder and the president of the Polish-Canadian Congress. And his accomplishments go on, and I was reading about the awards. It would take me 15 minutes to read them all, and I thank you. But the most important one is that he received from the Polish government for the work that's in front of you. Welcome, Mr. Walicki.
Thank you, Barbara, for your kind introduction. You are not strangers to us in Windsor. Actually, many more people which I see here visited Windsor, and we are very happy with that. And we'd like to keep this conversation, this relation, even more developed with young people. So remember that. And good evening. I'm going to start my quick presentation, but it's not going to be an extension of Professor who eloquently does a lecture about the life and achievements of Nicolaus Copernicus. Duniec Muchowski. Thank you very much. Big five for her. So thank you everyone, and have a healthy and prosperous New Year. Now I'm going to present this medallion.
Mr. Walicki, thank you so very much for all that you did for us, and thank you for this presentation. And now this medallion, it's absolutely, you shouldn't have said it's not gold, it's a pure gold. As an appreciation.
I didn't want to say because it will be stolen.
He didn't want to say it would be stolen. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. We'll put this proudly in our case for everyone to see and enjoy. Thank you. As this is about to come to an end, I would like to send a special gratitude to all the ladies who were on this committee putting this together. And those ladies are, Chair was Danuta Gurner, Zofia Duniec-Muchowski, Ewa Gala, Zdzisia Gumu, Anna Kubina, and Barbara Stromiński. Ladies, you did a wonderful job, thank you. All the countless hours, and just the point of the last minute detail. Pani Basia this morning ran to the store to get the flowers so we would have the flowers on the tables and make it look beautiful. But thank you very, very much. Now we all will retire and enjoy the exhibit and read the book. All the information is in the books that were provided to you. Also, all the special guests that traveled here from all the places, and I was asked to say that. So, thank you for coming. People from Orchard Lake, from Troy, from Ann Arbor, from Hamtramck, Warren, Sterling Heights, Rochester, Farmington Hills, Macomb, Shelby Township. And this is all I have on the list, but if there anyone else is from other places, we thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, enjoy the exhibit, and good night.
Yes.